Hello my YouTube fans. I'm here to remind you about the Eclipse 2017. Some of you may be familiar with my channel. You know that a couple years ago I did these solar projection videos, and these are some of the photos. This is just a few of the photos that I had from those days. I just pulled a few of them up and wanted to show you them real quick, just to remind you that the only safe way to look at the sun is to project it, or I should say the safest way is to project it. You can get solar filters that cover the entire objective, that is the front of this telescope. I'm hoping that you're seeing my mouse. Okay? Never, ever, ever, ever look at the sun directly without sun protection. And I am not talking about sunglasses. Sunglasses are not for looking at the sun. Sunglasses are for the bright outside. It's so bright out there with the sunshine, the light is so intense that people wear sunglasses. But to look directly at the sun is a whole new ball game. You have to filter out not just ultraviolet but infrared, and you have to filter out something like 99.9% of the light, the intensity of the light, of all the light. So please be safe about this. I can't stress this enough. And if you do have a telescope and you're new to this idea, if you get yourself a small telescope or something, never, ever, ever put your eye against that eyepiece without that solar filter covering the front, the objective of that telescope. Ever. This says this says permanent eye damage could result. No. Permanent eye damage will result, and it will result within a split second. You will burn your retina. You will go blind if you don't protect yourself from it. Yes, daytime astronomy, as I like to call it, looking at the sun, studying our star. It is a star. Yes, some people don't even know that. Is a fascinating thing to do. It is excellent to teach kids, but you have to also teach the kids the safety, or what not to do. So if you have kids coming to your so-called solar eclipse party, be sure to make them understand not to look at the sun unless you give them the proper solar protection. They have these glasses that you can get. They're a couple of dollars, believe it or not. They look like the movie theater glasses, but they are not the movie theater glasses. They are specifically solar eclipse glasses. They even sell them in what looks like sunglasses in plastic, and these are specifically designed. They are actually ISO certified. ISO is one of the scientific industry companies that do this sort of thing. The government, regulated things. So August 21st, I want you to enjoy the eclipse. Now, if you're in an area somewhere from starting from the northwest to the southeast, the band of totality, there is actually, and I don't want to say this too loud, because there is actually a safe time to look at the sun when the moon is completely covering the sun. That is during absolute totality, and totality only lasts for a very short few minutes. So you do still have to be careful, because the moon can move away from the sun without you realizing it, and then you get that flash when the sun's light comes off the edge, and you can also damage your eyes then. Nevertheless, seeing the corona, I've never seen it in real life. I've seen it in photos and videos, and it is an amazing thing to see. But there's something amazing to see something live, looking at it with your own eyes. That's just, you can't beat. When you see the moon completely cover the sun in totality, you can then see the corona, that is the sun's atmosphere, and it's an amazing thing to behold. But you have to be very careful. Make sure that you don't point your binoculars at it and stare at it too long, and then suddenly the moon moves away far enough that you get that flash. So you do have to be careful, but it is actually safe if you can time it right. And you have to be very careful. I would not recommend doing it for the kids, but because the kids will stare, and then they'll be pointing their binoculars at this, and anyway, what I do recommend mainly is projection, like I'm doing here. That is the safest way. But if you're going to do this, you have to be sure that, especially if you have kids around, that nobody has access to that eyepiece. Okay? This eyepiece. You have to make sure that nobody puts their eye against it. So that means if you're going to have a solar eclipse party in the backyard, like I intend to do, and I intend to use the bathroom once in a while, it means if I go inside, I am going to cover the front of that telescope with the dust cover, and possibly even move the telescope away from pointing it at the sun before I walk into the bathroom, because I don't want the kids to inadvertently say, "Oh, can I look through this?" and instantly go blind. Smoke come out of their heads. And yes, smoke will actually come out of your eye if you put your eye on that eyepiece while it's pointing at the sun. Because I don't have a solar filter. I don't have this full objective solar filter. I hope you can see my mouse. Which is the only safe way to point a telescope at the sun and put your eye on it, is having a full aperture solar filter. And they do sell them. And they even sell telescopes with built-in solar filters that you can't remove. So, but nevertheless, 2017 is going to be a great year for me if the clouds don't come. With my luck, every time there's something like this happens, here come the clouds. So, wish me luck. I'm in New Jersey, so we're going to get like 75%. But I intend to see this 75% eclipse projected on my screen, and I'm hoping to get a few pairs of those glasses that allow me to look directly at the sun with proper protection. And the reason why I want to have a few pairs is because I'm hoping that my grandnephews and stuff like that come. So there you have it. There it is. Oh, and a side note, today I visited my local gaming store again. Some of you may have seen that frivolous video I made about opening those booster packs for the Magic the Gathering. I did it again, only this time I did it at the store. And the young guy there videoed it, and he's going to send me the video, I hope, and I'll publish it. Anyway, be safe when viewing the solar eclipse. It's a fascinating thing to watch. It's a once in a lifetime thing. If you're in the totality zone, especially. But please understand that there are. I have some videos on my older, a couple years ago, how I built the screen and everything. I talk about solar projection. I may be boring. A lot of people out there have videos about projecting the sun. So just enjoy the science, but be safe about it. Thank you. Please subscribe.